Lonnie Cow.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. In every community throughout the UK that has a high level of employment, we experience better health, both physical and mental, less crime, better school outcomes and longer life. The result is less strain on the health service and the criminal justice system. Now, admittedly, that's a simplified summary, and we can, and no doubt will, debate wages and work conditions. At a time when the strength of the trade unions are being attacked by this Conservative Unionist government, it's right that we do so. But today, I want to focus on the positives. I want this government to help an industry that employs local people, could generate huge profits, pay their tax to the Exchequer and help offset the environmental damage that we're doing to our precious planet. That industry would be a win-win-win scenario. So I was drawn to the section in the Red Book on the green industries. It starts at 3.83, if you're following, and I wondered if it was in there, but it was not. To my absolute horror, nuclear energy was. It's almost as if the nuclear industry doesn't create pollutants. It's almost as if generation after generation will not be left to clear up our mess. No matter what title this government gives it, the latest being environmentally sustainable, nuclear is not green. I was pleased that carbon capture got a shout-out, but that was at the end of the green industry's investment. So with eager anticipation, I read Section 4, growing the economy, creating a culture of enterprise. Here we go, I thought, at last, but no. What better way to grow an economy and help the local community, if not by creating jobs so people have a disposable income to spend locally and benefit the local community and all associated supply chains? All the usual budget-day suspects got a nod, but nothing new, no enterprise. Nothing that employs local people, could generate huge profits, pay their tax to the Exchequer and help offset the environmental damage that we're doing to our precious planet. So I'm going to have to lead the UK government by the nose, which is a pity, because the evidence has been available for centuries, and indeed it was promoted and even enforced by King Henry VIII in the 16th century. Back then, a quarter of all arable land was dedicated to growing hemp. Now, before the government recoil in horror, this is not cannabis. Don't come over all unnecessary on me. It is estimated that a medium-sized, economically viable establishment would employ 120 people, all paying tax. When it was encouraged in the 16th century, that was to manufacture rope and canvas for the King's Navy. But now we can also make clothing, shoes, biodegradable plastics, insulation panels, food, paper and biofuels. Currently, the government is spending billions retrofitting homes through the Eco4 and Eco+ scheme, but they're using products made from petrochemicals, and these release harmful volatile organic compounds, or VOC emissions, into the air of the buildings. Why not encourage local farmers to grow hemp and supply the local contractors with carbon-negative natural fibre alternatives at scale? What would be a better use of public money? In fact, there are over 50,000 known uses for the hemp plant. Finding markets for hemp would not be a problem. It will sell, it will be profitable, and the government could reap the benefit. But it doesn't end there. Hemp absorbs 22 tonnes per hectare of atmospheric carbon during its 4-month growing cycle. Hemp produces 4 times the biomass of the same size of area of a forest, making it a far more sustainable source of material. Hemp does not need pesticides, insecticides or even fertiliser to grow in the UK. Hemp has natural antimicrobial properties, so it passively cleans the air in buildings. Hemp has a high capacity for moisture absorption, allowing for a controlled atmosphere within buildings. Hemp construction materials act as a long-term carbon sink. £160 million investment would create a facility that's capable of growing 32,000 acres per year. That would sequester over 207,000 tonnes of CO2 per annum. That's the CO2 photosynthesised by the hemp in its 4-month growth. That does not include the carbon sequestered into the soil or the net effect of replacing high embodied carbon products from the international supply chains and their emissions. And as a wee bonus, hemp regenerates the soil it grows in. so it would work well in crop rotation. It increases winter wheat and spring barley yields by 16 to 18% when they follow hemp in rotation. And it cleans groundwater. By that I mean it's a deep root and root mass that absorbs residual pesticides and insecticides from the soils, preventing runoff into streams and rivers and therefore avoiding the costly remediation by the water companies to achieve UK drinking water standards. And the barrier to this industry, raising the funds it requires, is simple. It's one thing. It's the licensing. To make this industry a success, the government only has to open its minds to the reality of what hemp is and distribute licences appropriately. The industry will take care of the rest. Hemp is not a plant from the past. It's a plant that can pave the way to a cleaner, greener future, and its benefits are clear for all to see, if we are prepared to open our eyes and ears to the possibilities. And finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, if raising tax from it is a trigger that's required, then so be it. But don't wait too long, because the world is switching on to this, and we in the UK are being left behind in our nuclear bunkers.